Today we're diving into a simple fable with a really powerful, life-altering twist. It's the story of a queen and her maid. So how can something as ordinary as a bed, right, a bed, end up creating a saint? It sounds pretty impossible, doesn't it? But this story shows us how one single, totally unexpected moment of wisdom can completely change a person's destiny.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story begins inside a grand palace with two women from completely different worlds, the queen, of course, and her maid. And it all starts, like most days did, with a simple daily routine. Every single day, without fail, the maid had a very specific job. She would have to meticulously clean the queen's royal bed, arrange it absolutely perfectly, and then finish it off with a fragrant perfume. You can just picture it, right? The scene of incredible luxury and quiet, dedicated service. But one day, that perfect routine got broken. And it wasn't some big act of rebellion or anything. It was something way more human. Just pure, simple exhaustion. And this one little moment is where the entire story pivots. So she was just completely worn out. And as she's looking at this perfect, incredibly inviting bed, a simple, curious thought just pops into her head. There's just this fleeting desire for a tiny moment of comfort. What would it really be like, she probably wondered, to just lie down here for a second? And well, that was all it took. The instant her tired body hit that soft mattress, combined with the cool air in the royal room, she was out. Just gone. Lost in a deep sleep. Her exhaustion had totally taken over. Okay, so this is where the story takes a really sharp, dramatic turn. What happens next involves a pretty severe punishment and, believe it or not, a fit of laughter. It's wild. As fate would have it, of course, the queen returns to her chambers at that exact moment. She walks in to find her maid fast asleep on her royal bed, and her reaction wasn't understanding, it wasn't even curiosity, it was just immediate, explosive rage. The queen's fury turned into a swift and just brutal sentence. She ordered the maid to be given 60 lashes. 60! I mean, what is shockingly harsh punishment for just falling asleep for a moment? As you'd expect, while the punishment was happening, the maid screamed in agony. She pleaded, she begged for mercy, for any kind of forgiveness, but the queen was completely unmoved. Her heart was just hard as a rock. And then something absolutely bizarre happens. Right in the middle of the whipping, through all the tears and the pain, the maid stops crying. And she starts to laugh. I mean, can you imagine the queen's confusion? Her punishment was supposed to cause pain and sorrow, not laughter. So through her anger, she demands an answer. Why on earth are you laughing? And the maid's answer? It reveals a kind of wisdom that just reframes the entire situation. It forces all of us to ask, who is really being punished here? So the maid starts her explanation very simply. She just lays out the facts. She says, for just a few short moments of comfort on this amazing bed, my price was 60 lashes. It's a really clear, really painful equation, right? Action and consequence. And then she flips it. She turns the judgment right back on the queen. You, she says, you sleep in this luxury every single night. If my tiny little indulgence costs this much, just imagine the spiritual price you're going to pay. The one above, the ultimate judge, is going to deliver a punishment thousands of times greater. But here's the thing. The story doesn't end in the queen's chambers. Its most powerful impact, its real ripple effect, was felt by someone who wasn't even there, someone who just heard the tale. So the tale of the wise maid and the queen, it eventually reached the ears of a man named Sahu Sahab. He was just a listener, someone who heard this story as it was being passed along. But for Sahu Sahab, hearing it changed absolutely everything. The maid's powerful logic hit him so hard that it altered the entire course of his life. So step 1, he just heard the story. Step 2, he immediately gave up all of his own worldly comforts and luxuries. And step 3, he became a saint. Just like that. And he became so well known on this new spiritual path that he was given a new name, one that would become famous, Khat Kara Baba. This wasn't just a small change of habit. This was a complete rebirth of his identity, and it was all sparked by hearing a story.
This story really forces us to look inward. The maid understood the true cost of just a few moments of comfort. So it leaves us with one really critical question to think about. What are the luxuries and comforts in our own lives? And what's the hidden price we might be paying for them?